Hello and welcome back to my Dandelion Diaries. Today is going to be another flip through in my planners for the month of February, and this is my garden planner. And let me just say, February was a busy month for my garden. Even though we're not quite into the full swing of the garden season yet, I definitely got quite a bit done. So let me zoom you guys in a little bit more. So starting off in the beginning pages, I have not changed anything. I don't plan on doing anything else for this right now. I'm keeping up with my year at a glance, being my precipitation tracking. Didn't really have a whole lot of rain in February, and for the first year in like 3 years, we didn't have any snow. It was really interesting. We've actually had really spring-like weather for majority of February, which was odd. I have not sketched out my garden yet. I'm planning on doing that in the month of March this month. So I'm hoping that I will have this kind of laid out to show you guys exactly what my garden space kind of looks like in a sketch form. I'm also going to do my best to capture some footage of my garden because I've gotten several requests to see it. So it's nothing special. I guess I don't feel like it's anything special, but I'll try to take pictures or some video clips for you guys and insert them in my videos in the future once everything's kind of growing. But I haven't sketched anything out for this. Haven't changed anything for my planting table. This is still the same. And then for my quarterly section, we didn't have a whole lot of difference in terms of weather, like I said, other than that it was just warm. So I ended up doing my headers up here. I added the January, February, March, just because I wanted to fill in the space because I have a problem with space. And then I did my temperature tracking here. Like I said, the only difference is that we had some warmer weather down here, so I got to use some of my warmer toned dot markers, which is what I kind of denoted as the warmer temperatures. Really interesting to see that we didn't have any snow in February this year. I'm still kind of in shock about it. For over here on the left pages, I've been doing kind of like a planted section and a harvested section. I had intentions to plant out some of my flowers and stuff and melons in February, but with the weather we were having, I was kind of like, let me wait, because if we're not going to have a freeze, I'll just direct seed it into the ground and I don't have to worry about anything. So I think I'm going to wait until early, like middle March-ish, and I'll plant those stuff out. But the harvesting bit, I did end up harvesting several bunches of our mint because it just got out of control. And I did replant it in certain areas in our garden space. I guess my side yard, really, it's not like a garden. It's just like a bunch of plants, which I guess is technically a garden. Anyways, I just moved some mint bunches elsewhere. So I harvested those technically, but they also got planted out in other spaces. For the monthly section, oops, I forgot to put my... For the monthly section, I ended up just kind of making notes like I did for the month of January. I really like having it like this where I can just see at a glance like little blips. Honestly, nothing really changed except for our chicks and ducks. So we ended up getting chicks and ducks, which I'll show you pictures of them in the back. And I ended up going to the ranch with my mom, which is like a fun property that we just go and hang out with for like a day. It's really random. Anyways, we did have our first 90-degree Fahrenheit day in February. Like I said, this was weird in terms of weather for this month for us. It was really warm, unseasonably warm. So that's why I'm kind of like waiting like a day, or not a day, but like waiting a little bit to do more garden stuff outside, just in case we do get that last kind of like swooping freeze, because I don't know, I have a feeling that we're gonna get one more in before it becomes spring technically. Anyways, moving on into the weekly section. Most of the deco for this is from Sticky Club, which I've talked about in several of my videos. I'm trying to use up my stash of stuff this year, and I have quite a few Sticky Club stickers that I'm making my way through. But overall, I've kept this layout the same for the entire month of February. So I have my weather over here on the side, different tasks that I need to do each day, notes, which are very helpful for me to reference when I'm making my weekly entries, an egg counter, so how many eggs I'm collecting a day, the routine up here, which is basically what days am I doing what. It's not necessarily like I have to check off every box every day. It's just I'm trying to see what days have what going on. And then I have a section for a master list, which is kind of like a master to-do list of stuff I need to get done this week, but I don't need to designate it to a specific day, or it may take multiple days to complete. Then this was the next week. This was the Lunar New Year week, and also my boyfriend's birthday. So I didn't really spend a whole lot of time in the garden, if I'm being honest. We were out and about because of his birthday. We went out for dinner and drinks and stuff like that. And then it was also the Super Bowl on Sunday, and we went out for that. So not a whole lot happening in the garden space for this. I did obviously maintain my seedlings that we started and everything like that. Yeah, that's pretty much all that happened this week. This week was Valentine's week, and then, I think that's it for this week too. So we ended up going to the ranch this day. Yeah, nothing really special happened this week, actually. Yeah. This week was the week we got our chicks and ducks. Yeah. So second to last week of February, we got them on Wednesday the 21st, and they were like day old. They were teeny tiny little fluffy babies, and they were so cute, so cute. But also this was a really bad week for me mentally, because everything kind of just like started slowly going downhill. So we got the chicks and ducks, which was like the peak of the week. And then after that, we had a whole bunch of issues in getting their things, like their brooders, set up, because they couldn't get along together. So we had to separate them out. And then they were fine after we separated them out. But then we had to have 2 brooders. So we needed 2 heat sources, 2 waters, 2 feeders. We just weren't prepared. And I have to say, I was not intending to get ducks. I only wanted chicks because last year in 2023, I talked about this. Our flock unfortunately came to its demise. We had a predator in our property, and we don't know if it's still here or not, but basically our entire flock got wiped out minus 2 chickens. So I wanted to replenish our flock this year by getting chicks. And it's like, when you just see something really cute and you can't say no. Well, my boyfriend really wanted ducks, and they were really cute, and they're little black ducks, and they just had the cutest little black webbed feet and cutest little black beaks, and I couldn't say no. So we ended up with 4 ducks, and this is what caused the drama, I guess, of trying to find 2 places to grow them, because we only had 1 brooder. Anyways, long story short, we got it all situated, and then Athena, our dog, started having diarrhea again and problems. So we had to take her to like an emergency vet appointment kind of thing. And we got some really crappy news for her, and she basically has to be on this whole regimen of stuff to help her, which is honestly like, it was like the worst news I could have gotten after dealing with all the chicks and ducks kind of thing. So it was just kind of a shitty week for me, if I'm being honest. Move into the next week. This is again where things kind of got more and more busy. So I guess the second half of February was really busy. So this week I had to thin out the seedlings really good because they were already growing really, 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 really fast at this point. Especially with all the warm weather, everything is just kind of taking over. So I had to clear out our garden space, mow it down, weed it out, mulch it, the whole thing. It was a big task. And then on top of that, since the ducks and chicks are now a week old this week, I had to help with the chicken coop build and design and everything. So we originally were going to build the coop back in January, and because of all the rain and the weather and other extenuating circumstances, it didn't get built. So we actually ended up getting the birds before we built the coop, which I know is like the worst practice when it comes to buying poultry birds because they grow incredibly fast. So our ducks have pretty much doubled in size. They're chunky little babies. And the problem is if we don't have the coop built, we can't put them in the old coop because the old coop is too small for the number of chickens. Long story short, this week of February / into March was super busy of getting everything kind of like rushed to be prepared. And at the time of me filming this video, we're still working on it. So we're still rushing. But I'm I don't know. I'm happy to get everything kind of like moving along with this, but the garden in February was just like everything was happening all at once kind of situation after we got the chicks and ducks, which it's fine, whatever. Anyways, for the entry pages in the back, so I have like a section of notes pages that I've dedicated to weekly entries for the garden. This is what it ended up looking like. I ended up using this gorgeous PET tape from the Washi Tape Shop. I absolutely adore the floral PET tapes from the Washi Tape Shop. They're always beautiful. And I paired it with the Arbonne's Rusty Anchor ink that I had in my Pilot Vanishing Point, and I loved the way this looked together. It just looks so pretty together. I'm really happy with it. Anyways, yeah, there's that. And then I ended up, I think, journaling first week. Yeah. And then this was the beginning of March that I finished out too, which again, this PET tape is one of those florals from the Washi Tape Shop. Absolutely adore those. But yeah, the weekly entries haven't changed for me much. I just take the notes that I take from the weekly section and basically copy it over into the notes pages in the back as kind of like a synopsis, so I can just read this really quickly. Then I wanted to denote our ducks, so I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see the kind of like memoir kind of situation I did for our new additions to the family. So this was the first day that we got them. I printed this picture out on my Canon IV printer, which is like little sticky printer photos. And then the stickers are actually from my shop. This was from my Leap Day sale. I did a whole bunch of like chicken and garden themed stickers and was really happy with those. But yeah, we have 4 barred rocks, 4 Rhode Island Reds, and then the 2 golden sex links, which are the 2 that survived our predator. And then we got 4, they told us they were black American ducks, but as they're growing, I'm starting to think they're Cayuga ducks. But we'll see, I guess, how they turn out, you know, once they start getting their full feathers and stuff. And then this was 1 week old for them. So the chicks have their little tail feathers, little markings on their wings now. And the ducks, like I said, have just gotten doubled in size, and they're nice and fluffy and chunky. Like when you pick them up, they're just like fat little babies, and they're so cute. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that I've done for my garden journal for the month of February. Overall, I don't really plan on making any changes to the functionality of how I'm using this planner. I'm absolutely, you know, still 100% in love with the way I'm formatting everything, keeping track of all the tasks that I have to get done, the weather, egg counting, routines, any notes that I have for the garden itself, weekly entries, all that kind of stuff. I'm really happy with all of those things. So I don't think I'm going to make any changes there, at least. Anyways, if you have any questions about anything I've used in this planner, any supplies, any questions about my garden in general, I would be happy to talk about it with you in the comments. Just get the discussion going. I always find it fun to talk about garden journals because I feel like they're underrated in a way. Like we need more people with garden journals. Come on. Anyways, I want to thank you so much for watching, for joining me here today. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.